Hey guys, it's Tanaya. I am back with another video. Let's talk about Love Marriage Huntsville episode 2. Okay, so I watched it a little late, but we're gonna talk about it anyway because there's a lot to talk about in this episode. So let's go. Now the episode starts off with Tisha and Kimmy both kind of giving their view on what happened at Tisha's event with her graduating with her master's degree and just the friendship of Kimmy and Tisha falling apart. Who do y'all think is right or wrong in this situation? Comment down below, because according to Tisha, she kind of bothered me when she said that she gave, the standards or the expectations of what her idea of their friendship should be as sister-in-laws and as friends to Kimmy, and she's just going to see if she abides by it, and if not, that's it. I did not like when she said that at all, because it's just like, friendship is a two-way street. It's not like, oh, whatever, these are my standards, if you don't meet them, we're done. Like, that's not how friendship works. That's not how families work. You do need boundaries. But on the other side, I like how Kimmy was talking with Maurice, her husband, about how, Tisha has these expectations of her, and how Maurice pointed out, like, you can't have a friendship with somebody if that friend is expecting you to change who you are as a person just to meet their standards. And that doesn't work at all. That doesn't work at all. You really should be able to be yourself, your whole entire self, and that's real friendship and real family bonds and stuff like that. Like, you shouldn't have to just be all the way here and check off the list by this person's standards in order for y'all connection and bond to work. That doesn't sound like a friendship or family tie. It sounds like a job, okay? It sounds like a job that you go to, clock in at, and get paid for. So I really, really didn't appreciate that at all. What I did appreciate from Tisha in this episode was that she admitted that her mom causes a lot of drama and causes a lot of mess at events and makes events go kind of left. I was happy to hear her just openly saying that on the show, and she probably, I don't know, she spoke to her mom and said, hey, you're not gonna go to this event, blah, blah, blah. Like, she probably realized that her mom starts a lot of stuff, and she probably don't want to deal with it as much, because she said, she was sad her mom wasn't at the event, but at the same time, she just admitted that's why the event went so smooth, because her mom wasn't there. So that was cool. And Marcel, openly shared with her how, like, yo, your family just came and just was trying to attack me, which they were. Like, they was just boom, boom, boom. I heard this rumor, I heard that rumor, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, y'all need to back. Y'all need to back up, okay? Accusing him of a child and all of that stuff. Like, y'all need to chill out, okay? All right. Let's talk about when Martell comes to pick up the kids. But the first thing I noticed was a little edit was off, because Martell knocked on the door. Melody came down the stairs, and I was just like, okay, Mel coming down in the slit dress, looking cute. Okay, when ex-hubby coming around. I know that's right, because when the ex come around and they did you wrong, you better look your best. Not because you're trying to get back with them, but just, just remind them, yeah, you messed up, you're a dummy, and I look bomb, okay? She came down, opened the door, they talked outside, and then she went inside, and then Martell is knocking on the door again as if he just got there, and the mom lets him in as if he just got there. I thought that was I thought the edit was completely off. Like, that looked staged, that looked crazy. But Martell and Melody talking outside on the porch about how they're going to co-parent. I'm glad they both agreed to go to like a therapy session just focusing on co-parenting. And I just think they just go back and forth a lot about this whole social media thing. You said this on social media, you said that, the kids saw this, the kids don't see when I do this, but they see what you do. It's just a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth. Like, y'all just need to stop posting this stuff on social media. Stop saying stuff in front of the kids that you don't want them to hear, and just move on. But I'm glad they agreed to go to the therapy session. But I want to ask y'all, do y'all think it's okay for Martell to write in his caption that he has 5 kids? Do y'all think it's okay for him to just share, hey, this is my 4th out of 5 children? Or I have 4 kids, 1 more left to go. Like, this is my 4th child with 1 more left to go. Like, just letting the world know that he's acknowledging that he has 5 kids. Do y'all think that's wrong? I don't think it's wrong. And I think it probably took him a long time to get to that point. I think that child has nothing to do with the situation. That child should be acknowledged that they exist. But at the same time, if I was in that situation, I hope I'm never in their situation. It would make me feel a way, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong. What do y'all think? Comment down below. And another comment on this situation before I move on to Kimmy and Maurice. I think that Mel's mom has good intentions, and I think that she's hurt by the situation. However, I think that she should completely stay out of it unless she's 100% coming in a positive place. But either way, with just seeing how Martell's personality is, you can come with positive intentions and kind words, and he will twist that and turn it into you attacking him. Because if you're coming from a positive place but you're still trying to get him to take accountability, he's going to twist it and he's going to feel attacked. So I think it's best for her mom to just completely stay out of the drama and let them two work it out and just be positive to both of them and just take 3 steps back. Because that's what his mom was pretty much trying to do before they got a divorce. She was trying to stay out of it. And I think Mel's mom should do the same. Now we're going to go on to Kimmy and Maurice. So they basically just show Monster grew up. Like, Monster got a lot taller. He definitely hit puberty. And so they show Monster and how he wants to cut grass and get some type of hustle going, side hustle going, so he can earn a couple little coin. Like, and that's how you get when you get to that age. So kudos to him for like starting to even think that way at that young age. And then they show Kimmy and Maurice and Monster FaceTiming Kiowa. So Kimmy brought this up, I believe, last season as well, how she kind of feels like left out of conversations and kind of parenting things regarding Monster, even though she is there with Monster, you know. So I just think that would bother me if he's FaceTiming Maurice is FaceTiming Kiowa and he's with Monster, and like Kimmy could be sitting right next to him, but like the person on the other side of the FaceTime, Kiowa, has no idea. It's like, why hide that Kimmy's right there? Like, just show, hey, me and Kimmy's here with Monster, blah, blah. Like, why does she have to feel the need to interject and say, hey, I'm here? Like make her, like, that just is very, very weird. Because it's like, why are you trying to show this perception to Kiowa that Kimmy's not there? You know, it can get turned deep into something deeper than it needs to be. Just announce that she's sitting right there. What the heck? Like, I would be so bothered by that. But I was appreciative that Kiowa seems like she's in more positive spirits and like she wants to, you know, put things underneath the rug. And I wonder if she got backlash from the reunion and stuff like that. And she just says, you know what, let me just, you know, sweep it underneath the rug. We're going to see when they meet up, like, how everybody's coming that day and what's going to happen. Because they do need to dead it. Like, they need to dead it. People need to stop being bitter. People need to stop being angry. They need to dead it. I'm over it. At the end of the day, that young boy sees all of this stuff and it's toxic and it ain't worth it. Talk about these daggone 47 acres that we've been hearing about for a long time. So Martell talks to his friend. I forget the friend's name, but he's like a business partner in this whole thing. And Martell is upset because in the last episode, we saw how the friend went to Melody and said, hey, are you interested in building houses on the 47 acres? Melody said you should talk to Martell about it. This is his passion, but that she'll consider it. But, you know, like, run that by Martell first and then we could all talk, whatever. So Martell visits the friend. The friend openly shares that he spoke with Melody about it. Martell feels hurt because he's like, you my friend. Why would you go to my ex-wife about building houses without talking to me first or whatever? It's a big tornado because both of them have different mindsets when it comes to business. There are a lot of people out here that are like, okay, if my homeboy does vinyl floors, I'm gonna go hit him up to do my floors before I go out and call another company. I'm gonna go put money in my friend's pocket and support what he does before I go call a stranger or whatever. There's a lot of people who think that way. There's a lot of people who think, okay, I'm not going to call my boy to do my floors because I know my boy takes X, Y, and Z amount of time to do it, or he may be a one-man team, or he don't really do a good job. I want to call a professional. They come like this. Like, they may have other reasons and just say, hey, it's strictly business. I needed this service done. It didn't matter if it was going to be a friend or another company. Some people are just strictly business, and some people put friendship before business. So with them two, they're like oil and water in this particular case. I honestly don't know which side I'm on in the whole situation, but I get where both of them is coming from, because this guy wants to clearly profit off of building homes on these 47 acres. It took a year and a half to close out this deal. Clearly, he had to be dragged into the whole divorce drama, how things were being held up with this whole deal because of the divorce and all of that stuff. So he's frustrated and he's ready to just close this deal out, make his money, and move on. And in his defense, the client asks for Melody because she has the license. Martell, we now find out Martell does not have a builder's license, but he was affiliated with someone who does. So Martell is saying, who cares if I don't have it in my name? I'm affiliated with a company that does. So he could have still got the job. But however, Martell never took into account the key detail was that the client asked for Melody. The client didn't give a damn what you had. It seems like the client didn't want to deal with you. They wanted to deal with Melody. So that was the missing piece that Martell, it just didn't click in his head, that the client wanted Mel. Okay? And knows that Mel has the business license, the builder's license under her name. Client wanted Mel, so that's how she got involved. Client didn't want you. Don't matter if you brought the buyer to the table. This is your whole thing. It sucks. The client didn't want you. The client wanted Mel. Oh well. And we're gonna skip to when Martell and Melody went to the co-parenting session. I thought that session was so nice, but it brought out a lot in that meeting, and I was just like in front of the TV saying, "About time, Martell. About time to admit and say, I made my bed and now I'm laying in it." And he was open and vulnerable. He kind of closed the door on us again, but he was open and vulnerable and said, "I'm struggling right now financially and I don't have anybody to lean on." And he referenced when Melody was trying to find her way, but she had him to lean on, but he doesn't have that support because they're not together anymore. He's clearly not with the other baby mama anymore. He doesn't have his rock, and he's trying to figure things out, and he feels probably like less of a man and guilty and regretful and stuff like that, because he said, "I used to be able to do a lot with my kids and now I can't do as much." And I think he's just talking about being able to take them here, do this, do that, buy this, buy that. And like when your finances aren't the way they used to be, a lot of things get cut from the budget. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's really feeling that. And sometimes when a man isn't producing as much as he used to, his whole morale, personality, all goes left for the negative. They're very negative. Like they just shut down. They shut down, and they're really like crappy to be around, because they don't like, it just hits so many parts of them. Their ego, feeling like a less of a man, like all of that stuff. So Martell is going through probably a crap ton of emotions, but what opened my eyes is that I wonder if he was ever able to really be in a comfortable environment to ever express his emotions, those sad emotions. And I'm talking about him as a child and a teenager, young adult, like before Melody. Because when he finally did open up and he looked very emotional, and Melody went to rub his shoulder and he was like, "Oh, don't stop, Mel, why are you doing that?" And the therapist asked him, like, "Are you hesitant to accept, just comfort from her?" I think that's just like a man thing. And when somebody rubs your shoulder or hugs you when you're very emotional, it makes you even more emotional. And I think he just trained himself from I don't know how long ago to just shut off his emotions. Like a lot of people grow up where like if you are a crier or you get emotional or you're sad, you might have got popped on the hand or like kind of yelled at a little bit to stop crying and just to, like that lady said, pull up your bootstraps and keep going. You don't, and I've experienced this as well. Like you don't get to fully express your emotions all the way. and you just keep a lot of stuff bottled up and you keep it moving and keep hitting the pavement and push through it. You know, it makes you a strong person, but you don't know how to express your emotions, you don't know how to accept comfort, and you don't know how to be vulnerable. So it takes away a lot as well. So I thought that that was a huge moment for him, but it also opened my eyes and say, I wonder what his upbringing was like. And also just as a guy, like, guys really aren't trained, or not trained, they're not raised to be open and emotional and vulnerable, and they're not open to admitting their struggles. But Martell also has a huge problem with accountability, but it was nice to see him take some accountability and openly say it. And I think that's why Mel let her guard down a little bit and got emotional, because she's like, if you ever love somebody and you see them struggling, it's gonna make you feel a way. And I 100% agree. So even though they're like arguing, going back and forth, I'm sure either one of them doesn't want the other one to be struggling, physically in harm, sick, anything like that. So that scene was great, but for them to go right outside and start arguing about the 47 acres, I think their communication and the way like they come off really sets each other off, because they had such a good moment at the session, and then go right outside in the parking lot and like Melody saying, oh, you shouldn't stop being friends with him, but he's my friend too. And then Martell saying, you ain't never built a house, girl, bye. And she's like, you ain't never put up no concrete and but they're smiling at each other though. So I'm like, I don't think this one's a real argument, but I think they get some kind of joy out of like going tit for tat over stuff. So I think they have serious arguments, and then I think they had the little fun bickering, and I think they had a little fun bickering session. But because I was just like, I'm like, they're arguing, but Mel is smiling at him hard as heck. And like, he's like, oh, whatever. Like, he kind of has a little smirk on his face. And it's like, those scenes, and then how they were doing a confessional together around that time, like, I'm like, okay, it's nice to see them being able to be in a place where they're comfortable around each other and they can actually have a conversation. So I think that there is some type of growth. So hopefully, like, they could just stay on a good path, because they should, like that lady said in the session, don't lose your team. Don't lose your sense of team, because they're a team in so many ways, you know, financially, as far as them building projects and the real estate and stuff like that. Like, as far as business, they were a team, you know, and now they've got to figure it out as individuals, and that's a huge shift. And Melody's, I guess, doing pretty all right, but Martell is sinking, you know, and they don't have each other as partners to, like, when one's going like this, the other one kind of pulls that one back up. So I just hope that they don't lose their sense of team. I also think, like, okay, 47 acres, if they want Melody, you know, I just don't want their arguing in like this whole situation to stop them from getting a bag, because I feel like it stopped them from getting some bags, you know, like it's stopping y'all from your money. You know, just figure out how to work it out, because there are businesses. There's a franchise in my state. They're not in real estate or anything like that. It's in the food industry. A couple started it and they broke up, but they still are business partners, and now it's a franchise. It's all throughout my state, and they're making bank. So figure out how to work together and get the bag when you need to. All right? I'm going to end it right there. Let me know what you guys think about this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye.